to drink and to smoke, take away the pain, and you don't remember all of your mistakes.
Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Pals Podcast. I'm your co-host Ricky Liordi.
And I'm Danielle Galarno.
And this week we are joined by Toronto United's first ever draft pick, Hannah Blatt. Hannah, I'll give a quick intro since I know you. Hannah is a former professional squash player turned pickleball player / social media little sensation, I'd say. Really into fitness, lives down in Florida, went to Drexel, broke some records down in Drexel, down in Philly, which we ended up going to on the Cass road trip. And now she is a full-time pickleball player. She's the first person ever from the Canadian National Pickleball League to be signed to the league in the States, the MLP. So obviously congrats to Hannah. And she's coming off a big win this weekend in Edmonton. So Hannah, welcome.
Thank you, guys. I'm glad to be here.
Are you?
I am.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
excited.
But yeah, this was a big weekend. Me and Hannah just basically spent the weekend together with the rest of our team. And we got back, and me and you haven't really talked, so this is nice because we can do a nice little recap.
And this is like straight off from the plane, like literally picked up from the airport, came right here to do this episode.
This is straight up off the plane. We're fired up. Mark Godfrey, this shout out's for you. We're literally getting off the plane, and Mark's like, you got to start with like, yo, I'm fired up. We just got off the plane. We fucking won this weekend. Yeah. So we're here. I guess, Hannah, we'll start with the easiest question. And this is just to ease you into this, in case you're nervous. Okay. But why did you get into pickleball?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I got into pickleball. I had just kind of quit squash in a way, and I was just looking for something new to try. Meet friends. I mean, everyone was playing pickleball, all ages. I play with like 60-year-olds, and so I just randomly went to this, what's called the Delray Tennis Center, and I knew nothing. I didn't know the rules. And I just wanted to try it. And then I was there like every day, every week for like a month, just meeting people and just playing a new sport.
So, were you good right off the start? Because obviously squash can translate, right?
I could hit a ball, but like I was okay. I don't know. People were like, oh, this girl's going to be good. And I was like, well, I mean, I came from a racket sport, so obviously I can make contact with the ball. But I don't know. I was all right.
What got you into squash?
My dad.
I literally asked this question this morning. Literally,
really?
This morning I think right when we were going for
I just like knowing from the beginning, because like a lot of people like, oh, like this is where I am now, but like how did you actually get into it? Like how did you get into squash and then squash to pickleball?
Hannah's a fucking athlete, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. No, so my grandpa and my dad were both a part of like a men's club, and I played like every sport growing up, and so my dad was like, hey, you should just try playing squash. So I went to the men's club. You could only go for like an hour on a Sunday because, I mean, I'm a female at the men's club. And
is that like a real thing?
Yeah. No, it's legit.
Wow, that's
it's
wild.
like a complete.
Like
it's still
in
men's
like
club.
2023. Like that's a thing still. Like it hasn't been canceled.
No.
I mean, in Winnipeg, it's a
Yeah.
bit different than Toronto.
It's a little bit different than the peg. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Sorry, Hannah. Continue.
No, that's okay. So my dad got me into it, and for about a year, I think I was just going on a Sunday, just like for an hour or two, and finally, like I took to it. I was getting really good. I had the chance to play like the the Canada Winter Games and stuff. So I decided like I'd continue playing squash, and I guess I got good, and I was a top junior in Canada. So I'd travel to like Calgary and Toronto just to train because there was no one really in Winnipeg to play with. So.
And hold on, before we go on, I want to give a big shout out to Hannah's dad, Dave Blatt. So we're in maybe like game 6 this weekend. And we're grooving. We're 4-1 at this point.
Sorry, how many games were there?
7.
Okay.
There's 7 at each split. So we're on probably the 6th game, and we just had like a break. We're going into this game, and so Hannah and her dad, Hannah's mom and dad, have been like watching all the games, and just like great people too, like solid overall people. So then Dave comes, and he's like chatting with Hannah behind the bench, like where all the players are and like coaches and everything. And one point I'm like, Dave, just fucking sit down with us. Like you're here. And like Dave comes out to like team dinners, Dave and your mom Siri.
Yeah.
So they come out to team dinners. So I'm like, Dave, just fucking sit down. Sit down beside me. So he's sitting down, and we're all there. And then all of a sudden, like it's George, me, him. We're all shooting the shit, and it's like, okay, we got to give Dave a nickname. Like Dave's part of the fucking coaching squad. I'm like, I'm gonna give him like a fake title, so he's like part of it. We said we're gonna put him on the website too. And George is like, bench boss Dave. And I'm like, fucking bench boss Dave. So yeah, Dave's officially part. So Dave, because Dave will listen. Dave will definitely listen. Dave, shout out to you. You're a fucking beauty. I don't even know where I cut someone off at that point though.
You cut yourself off.
I cut myself
Like
off.
you literally cut yourself
I
off.
got
from
fired
saying
up because
something.
man, it was so fun. But back to squash, you're obviously really good. Then you went to Drexel. Was it like why Drexel?
My dad actually wanted me to go to Drexel, so I played the.
Wait, why'd your dad want you to go to Drexel?
Well,
of all places.
I know, it's weird. We went on a bunch of different tours to like some of the Ivy League, Stanford, and I played. Have you heard of like the Pan Am Games?
Yeah.
So I played that at Drexel a year before I committed, and that was my first time ever in Philly. And so my dad was with me, and he was like, "Hannah, you should consider Drexel." And I was like, "Dad, I don't want to go to Drexel." He's like, "Let's just go see it." And so yeah, he was the one that told me to go there, and I got a scholarship, and voila. Yeah.
What other schools were you thinking of?
I
And do you
really
regret not going to any other ones?
I don't regret not going to any of the others. I did want to go to Stanford. I went to tour it. I went to UPenn. I could have gone to like Harvard, or squash is just so big in the Ivy League schools. So,
Is it really?
oh my God,
Fuck, you could have been a
huge.
Harvard grad, Hannah.
I know.
That would have been kind
That
of
would have been really
Maybe
cool.
in another life.
My sister like
Harvard-
really wants to
yeah.
go, so like I have a heart. We just went
Really?
last like 2 weeks ago to like go visit a bunch of the Ivies on
Yeah.
like the East Coast, and
That would have been cool, Hannah.
I know,
Harvard's on
I
my
know.
suitcase.
So I've been to Harvard. I mean, I didn't go to school there, but Yale, Harvard. I'd always play like the U.S. Junior Open for squash, so it was hosted there every year. So I've been to their campuses many of times, and I have their hoodies, I have their stickers on my bags, and it was like a dream. But then at the same time, I was like, I could get a full ride
Yeah.
right
Yeah,
now.
that's true.
So,
It's tough.
Yeah.
that makes more sense.
So basically, you
Did.
didn't get a full ride to Harvard.
No.
It was impossible
don't-
to get
they
a
don't
full.
offer-
They don't
I'm
offer
kidding,
full
guys. Holy
rides.
fuck. Sorry, ladies.
They don't
Holy
do that.
shit, guys, relax. Oh, fucking still hard. So wait, why'd you stop? Well, you still kind of play squash. I'm trying to tell you not to play squash anymore, but you still play squash.
I still play squash here and there.
Why'd you stop playing like pro?
I honestly, I just didn't love it as much. So when I graduated university, I was like, you know what? I'm not ready to quit squash. I want to play pro. I want to travel. I also had no idea what I want to do like for a real job, I guess. So I was like, I'm
I
going
don't know
to
how
play
I'm
pro.
gonna grown up.
Yeah, exactly. So I decided to play pro squash, move down to Florida, start training.
So you moved down to Florida by yourself.
Well, I actually moved down there with my boyfriend at the time.
Okay, but no family.
No, just me. Yeah, like by myself.
Arlo?
And Arlo, and yeah, exactly.
Who's Arlo?
My dog.
The dog.
Oh, okay.
My little Frenchie. He's he's the best. He's 3. But anyway, so I was just training like literally 3-4 times a day, competing on the road constantly, and I think I just hit a point where I just didn't love it as much as I had used to. Not that I would dread going to train, but it's like, oh my God, I got to go train all day, and then my body's gonna be exhausted, and I didn't know what to do. So
It's funny you
that's
say
when
that. So I'm not an athlete like you in any sense, but when I was younger, like I was a fairly competitive and like a good hockey player. And I know the exact moment my career went downhill is that when I stopped loving the game of hockey more than I didn't love the game of hockey more than I loved hanging out with my friends. And I played on this team called the Toronto Marlies, which in like Ontario, the Toronto Marlies is like the #1 organization for minor league hockey. So I signed with them. I was playing with them, and like I was a goalie, so it's obviously like one of those like tricky positions because if you have a bad day, like it's very obvious. You can't hide a bad day as a goalie. So I signed with them, and we played Friday night games. I was also in grade 8 at the time, 7 or 8, I can't remember. So like going through puberty, going to an all boys school, can't hang out with like my friends when they're having their birthdays on Friday nights. And I remember going to hockey thinking, fuck, I have to go to hockey. It's like Jason's birthday. Like I wish I can go to Jason's birthday. I'm like, maybe if the game's quick, like if we're winning by a lot, or like if we're losing by a lot, they'll run the clock and I'll get out of there quick and I can make the end of it. And then you realize like that's when your career, like when you don't enjoy it more than the other things in life, that's when you know it's time to like not hang it up, but
yeah, so it's funny you say that because now that reminds me of like little times that are now clicking. So like I'd have a 6-7 day training week, and it would be a Sunday, and all I want to do in Florida is like go to the beach for a couple hours. But I'm like, well, no, you have to train. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll make an excuse as to my body's sore just so I can get a half day, just so I can go enjoy my day without having to stress. And I'd almost not get in trouble for it, but I'd feel guilty that I'm like hurting myself and my performance. And then it got to a point where I was like, I just want to go to the beach for one day and not feel guilty about
Well, it's like
it.
you're getting older. Your priorities were changing.
Exactly. And like I'd want to go home to Winnipeg and see my family for a weekend, and it's like, oh no, your squash is going to suffer. And so
and it's tough because squash isn't a sport like hockey, basketball, baseball, like soccer, where it's like major league sports. You're on a team where there's like fans in the stands. Like squash is a very individual sport. You versus not yourself, but you versus one other person, basically,
It gets
in a
lonely.
glass fucking box almost. Like it is tough, right? And it's
Yeah.
like I don't think there's a squash like league. It's just kind of tournament format, like tour format, right?
Yeah, it's like everyone all individual, unless you play like the World Games where I played for Team Canada or the Pan Am Games, Commonwealth. But other than that, you're on your own. Like you travel by yourself, you compete by yourself, and it does get lonely. Where pickleball, I mean, yeah, it's an individual sport. There's doubles too, and now there's these team leagues and everything. And so you feel like you're a part of something bigger than just yourself, and you're playing for other people.
Well, it's like
too.
it's building a community now.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
like I don't know if it's just because maybe I'm lucky and I've just met really insanely nice people in pickleball, but I feel like pickleball is also one of those like really nice sports.
Mm-hmm.
Like even look at, we're trying to leave yesterday. It took us, so the tournament's ended, we're done. We're the second last game of the tournament or the event, whatever you want to call it. And it took us like almost 40 minutes to leave. Just because we're 6 people trying to leave and everyone's saying, one person's saying bye to one person, one person's saying bye. Okay, Hannah, let's go. Oh, well, I just want to say bye to Angie. Angie's like, okay, well, you're saying bye to Angie. I'm going to say bye to Angie. And then it's like, fuck, Matt's there. Matt's talking to his mom because his sister's playing on the other court. It's like, oh.
Okay, question about this though. Do you think it's because people who play the sport are just nice, or is it just such a new sport and league and everyone's just trying to build this community for pickleball to help it grow?
I think
You
it's the
guys are the
first.
first because
No, I think
it's
everyone in
latter.
pickleball is really nice.
I think everyone, because like even I'll go to all these different courts in Florida and I show up and everyone's like just so happy. I mean, hey, you're playing pickleball, you're outside, you're indoors, you're playing a sport that everyone else is playing.
It's
right
also
now.
a very social sport because you're so close. I'll
Yeah.
give you an example.
I also find like the age gap of the people who can be playing these sports is so big that
Oh, yeah.
you'll have just wild variety of different people that can play.
Yeah,
Literally.
I've got 2 examples of this. So my cousin invited me to play in Georgetown with him and his little like league, his buddies,
Yeah.
whatever. And everyone pays at the beginning of the year. It's like $150 and you get to play part of this like every Monday night. So I was like, oh, do I have to pay to show up this? I was like, no, it's not a big deal. I'll message them like, we're short people. And he was like, come. I get there and like, it's not like, oh, he's that guy that didn't pay today. It's like, no, Ricky, like, what's your name? Oh, I didn't get to play with Ricky today. I'm like, and I'm not good, remember? So people are like, you know what, Ricky, let's get a game. Let's get a fucking W. Like, let's play. Hey, you know what? Oh, you seem like you're a better soft game. I'm better long game. Let's join up together on this one. Let's take them down. And then ironically, literally the following week, I played with Mark. Mark set up this like league player.
Yeah.
So I went to go play with one of our players, like his little system he does. And everybody's so nice. Like you leave and I was like, let's exchange numbers. Like let's play together. And majority of people don't know I have a home court. So I try not to say it because then it's like, then everybody wants to be your friend because you have a fucking private court, right? And I get that. But most people are like, yo, where do you play? Like, let's play a little bit more. Like, you play tournaments? You want to play a tournament together? Hey, when's the next time we play? You playing on Tuesday? I'm also playing on Wednesday. If you want to join, come with me. It's here. We can carpool and shit. I'm like, the fuck? Like, and people invite you over for dinners after. Like, how many?
Well,
I've been invited so many times for dinner.
Yeah, in Florida. So at the community I live in, we have 4 courts, and so I'll invite a
Wait,
group
are you
of
are you like the fucking like the like king of
Ringleader?
the hill? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Like
literally
they
there
know
all
when
the
you're
time.
there. Everyone's
yeah.
like, oh fuck.
They always wave at me. They're like, Hannah, can we watch? I'm like, obviously. I mean, it's a public court. You can just hang out and watch. But I'll have like a group of 8 people. We'll be playing pickleball and I'll be like, hey guys, just come over after for a barbecue. And it's me and I'm the youngest. I'm 24, and then all my friends are little baby. All my friends are anywhere from 28 to my friend Bill, who's like in his 60s, and they all just come
relax.
over.
You don't have that many friends. Like we
No,
know you got
I'm
like 6
serious,
friends.
I'm
Like,
serious.
Let's relax.
Bill.
You're like all my friends. Like
No,
you got,
Bill
like,
is
5.
amazing. So I'll literally have us
What up,
all
Bill?
over and we hang out. We have barbecue. We play pickleball before, and it's like it's so nice.
It really,
I love
honestly, it really is.
So do you think
This episode is a big pickleball promotion. If anyone,
Yeah,
if, you
I-
like,
I'm
if you're not
not-
into pickleball, you can kindly like
I
just
like
stop listening.
pickleball. I am not good, but I like it. I think it's
Good.
good. But I'm just gonna play devil's advocate sometimes here because I can, and you guys are just so into it. But do you think it's gonna change in the next 10 years? Maybe once it gets more competitive. Because if you look comparison wise, the way I would say like the tournaments and like games are set up, it's kind of like tennis. You have the doubles, mixed doubles, singles. That's a very competitive sport. You're not seeing
Yeah,
Djokovic like.
I think once it gets bigger, the pro level will not be as friendly. Like
Okay.
right now, it's still like even like with PPA and APP, like
Right.
they're all friends. Like
Yeah.
majority of them are all friends outside of when they play. I think in 10 years it might change where on the pro level it's less friendly. They'll still be friends
More
like
competitive.
NHL and
Yeah.
thing, but like there'll be more shit talking, more like public beefs and shit. Like so there's no real public beefs in pickleball.
No, not
Like everyone
really.
gets along. But I
So
feel
you
like
do
in, like,
agree that in 10, 15 years, it
on
could
the pro
change.
level, it won't be as friendly, but on the rec level, I think it'll always be fucking friendly. It's not gonna be like ball hockey where like people are fucking trying to kill each other at rec level, like men's league ball hockey or men's league soccer where people are coming home with bruises and shit. It'll never get like that. It'll
I'm
always
just
be a
thinking
friendly.
of like when we were in Florida with your mom and like we go to like your guys' courts and like literally you arrive there at 8 p.m. and it's like, hey, who wants to play now? I was playing with random people. Everyone's
I
so
think
nice.
on the rec level, it'll always stay like that.
I mean, I will say I've witnessed a couple close like fights on court with rec players.
Shut up.
Yeah, like someone wouldn't get off the court to let someone new on, and like they almost got in a fight, and people had to like go separate them. I haven't
In pickleball.
Yeah, in pickleball.
Man,
it's like
what
these
the
two
fuck?
50-year-olds.
I will say the one thing that was bad about pickleball. So in the rules of pickleball, it's like the person, even at like on the pro level, the line shots are called by the players. So even on the pro level, like this weekend, the line shots are called by the players.
Yeah, no,
And-
I saw you yell, oh,
Yeah.
and then I was
Yeah.
like, okay. I saw
So,
it
but
flip.
no, but there are fucking cheaters in this, like
So,
known
yeah.
fucking cheaters.
There are. I will say it is very hard sometimes to see that ball, like when it's moving so fast. And I mean, you're so like focused into that rally and you see the ball and you think it's out where someone's sitting on the outside but is like, no, actually it was in. I'm a very honest player. Like if it was legitimately in, okay, it's in. But when I see it out, it's like, obviously it must have been out. I'm not trying to cheat, you know?
So as a player, would you prefer have someone like managing that?
Yeah. I mean, then it just takes that whole aspect out. It's like, hey, the ball's in or out. You won that point fair and
Like what
square.
are they called in like volleyball, like the flag people?
Like a ref? No.
Kind of like maybe like a linesman or something.
linesman.
Yeah, okay.
So
yeah.
I think there should be 3 refs in pickleball, especially on the pro level.
Yeah.
There's
There should be-
none
There's 2.
right now.
on the pro
They're,
level.
they are
Okay.
working in the finals to have like people watching like this line and this line.
So
and, like,
in my
all the
opinion, what it
lines.
should be is there should be 3 total. One that stands at center court that does the foot lines for the kitchen,
Yeah.
and then one on each a far corner. So one on one like the northeast corner, one on the southwest corner that can do the lines on their L's, right? Because if you get both L's,
Yeah.
you technically have the court, right?
And then a fourth to like call the score, right?
No, the person who's doing the kitchen line can call the fucking score.
That is fair. Sometimes they can't.
Like it's actually
They
ridiculous.
can't multitask.
Sometimes it was wild. Like even with us this weekend, I was just like, guys, like the score's on the fucking screen. Just like this isn't this complicated, guys. Like what the fuck is happening? But
No,
no.
that is fair.
Okay, I got a good one.
Okay.
If there was one thing you could change about pickleball, what would it be? Like the sport, the energy, the community, everything. Like,
Anything.
and then Danny, over to even though you're not in it, like what?
Oh,
what
I already have my answer.
Okay, good.
You already have an
Oh,
answer.
Hannah, you
Oh,
I had this conversation today with my family.
That makes sense. I don't know. I mean, I'm still so new to the sport.
Actually, yeah, Hannah's like
So-
fucking so shit in the community. like you remember, Hannah's never played a tournament in Canada. I've played more tournaments
Yeah.
in Canada than Hannah has.
Like this league is my first Canadian tournaments. I've only played some APP, PPAs down in the US.
So
so
how does
APP
it
and the PPA are like the pro
Yeah,
tours.
yeah,
in a
yeah.
sense,
How does it compare playing in Canada versus over there?
I mean,
Honestly, let's go full honesty
Yeah.
right
full
now.
honesty,
Yeah, yeah.
I think Canada is a couple years behind. Like
100%.
playing, like the skill, everything. When I
100%.
played down in the US, I feel like a nobody yet. Like I still have so much
Whoa,
to
relax.
learn.
You're
and
so fucking nobody.
I'm
here,
I'm
too,
just
Hannah.
saying. I'm
Relax.
just saying.
Relax.
I have
here.
so much to learn, and the level, the way that they play, their strategy is just. They're so smart when you're at that pro level. Where here, I can get away with shots that people would just like whack me in the face with a shot I try, like down in Florida.
So,
or
but
in the
also
US.
to that point, and I agree with you. I think Canada's definitely behind the States, and that's also like with weather and stuff. Like I don't think
Well, you can
Canada's
play
that far behind.
indoors.
I don't think Canada's that far behind like New York or Chicago or Boston.
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like I
No,
feel
but
like
you even said this
I
after
feel
you
like in
went
the
to
southern
Scottsdale.
states, like Florida, Texas, California, like pickleball is massive in those 3 states. Like, and let's use those as examples.
But then there's like Kansas.
Yeah, okay, but Kansas is like middle America. So like, again,
I guess.
you got to think about the cities that outdoor playing is a lot more feasible because
Correct.
that's.
This is an indoor and outdoor.
I
That
know,
is-
but it's
yes.
again, it's more of an outdoor sport than an indoor sport. Like Hannah, okay, you live in Florida, so it's different.
But it also rains, so I have to go indoor. In the summers in Florida, it rains like nearly
yeah, but
all
for like
day
20
sometimes.
minutes.
No.
Oh, it rains for
No.
20 minutes. But it's too hot to go outside.
It is too hot.
But like, okay, you're saying that it's ahead. But there's also guys in Canada that, and again, okay, this isn't a fair statement because I'm going to compare like top players in Canada to like mediocre level players in the States. It's like someone like Ernesto, I know you don't know who he is, or even Matt,
Yeah,
Matt
yeah,
Kawamoto.
yeah.
Like Matt Kawamoto can compete in the States. Is he gonna
Correct.
medal every tournament? No. Is he gonna make the semifinals or even the quarterfinals? No. But he can compete, right? And that's like
Agreed.
he can do that.
But how many mats do you have in this league?
Yeah, agreed, 100%.
I think the difference in like, especially like we are years behind because the sport was introduced maybe a bit later than it was in places like
100%.
Florida, California.
100%.
California, you walk around, you say pickleball, people are flocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's just so much more availability. I want to tell a funny story. So, Hannah, and then I'll tell you, actually, and whoever's listening.
Everyone's literally going to stop tuning in.
No, are you kidding? This one's going to break records. When I got the team, I started doing my research on all these players. And Hannah's, again, never played a fucking tournament in Canada. So Hannah's got the social
So
media
why'd you
thing.
pick her?
So this is
I want to hear.
I know.
So Hannah's, you might have had what, like 20K followers at the beginning of the year? Like when, like this whole CNPL
In like
thing
April,
started.
yeah.
She's at like 20K. And again, has a cute little blonde, like easy to market. And she's a fucking athlete. So in my head, I'm like, hey, she might not be the best. And I watched the film. I'm like, okay, she's obviously good. Like she got a good swing. Did she rank the highest at the qualifier? No, but she plays in tournaments in the States. So she might not be the best right now, but maybe by the end of the year, she might be the best. Like, I don't know. So I was like, she fits what I'm trying to do. She's marketable. And she's fucking like almost full-time pickleball. You live in fucking Florida. You're playing pickleball like 5 days a week. I'm like, I remember calling her. I was like, how many days a week? Like, how much pickleball do you play? Like, how much pickleball do you play? She goes like, you mean like in a day or in a week? And I was like, that's my answer. Like, I'm fucking, yeah, Hannah, I love you. You're fucking. And then once so I was picking fourth. So there's a couple like women in Canada, and most people in the first round went women. There's a couple women.
I
who
actually
like,
noticed that today when I was looking on the
it's
website.
all the drafting, I think there's only 2 men drafted in the first
That's like
round.
really great for women in sports.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
go.
Exactly.
Huge. So I'm thinking about this. I was like, okay, there's a lot of women that are like been playing pickleball like 2-3 years. Like you see the Canadian tournaments, their names pop up a lot. You know, like Christina Chin, Pam Clark, Kim Lade, and Kim Brand, all these other women. And I was like, okay, but I'm building this team not just for this year, even though Hannah's fucked me for next year. Anyways, we'll get to that later. I'm building this team for like the future. So it's like, okay, I need like my first round pick is the first, like my first team's pick ever. Yeah. I need someone that like I can market.
History
I can
in
sell
the making.
Yeah, someone that's like I could build a team around. And some of these other women came up, and I'm like, fuck, but you know what? Like Hannah just builds what I'm trying to do. We're gonna sell this like social media thing. We're gonna sell that we're the most popular team. Our branding is gonna be the best. Our team's gonna look the best on the court. So I kind of figured out the first 3 picks. So I call Hannah like the day before the job. I'm like, Hannah, like realistically, I'm picking you at 4. She's like, okay, cool. I was like, are you gonna play in all 3 tournaments? She's like, yeah, I should be able to. I was like, Hannah, I'm picking you at 4. Are you gonna play? And we're not friends at this point. Like we've had like 2.
We're friends now.
We're friends now. You need all the friends you can get.
Okay.
So I was like, we're not friends at this point. So I was like, Hannah, like, if I she's like, yeah, I should be good. I was like, Hannah, I just need to get like, please, like, if
Just
I pick,
say yes.
If I pick you up
Lie
for
to
it,
me and say
yeah,
yes
just,
right
just
now.
Say yes and fucking show up. She's like, yeah, I'll be there. I was like, okay, thank God. So we pick her at 4, and then now me and Hannah have obviously become like close friends, and our team is fucking amazing.
Now don't say no or else he'll get mad.
No,
Okay.
I know.
So I'm gonna tell a story about the
No.
MLP. So again,
Okay.
this is big. Hannah is the first player from our league to go and play in the States. So there's been other players, other Canadians. So Steve Deacon's one of them, and
Another girl. I just
Catherine
saw that.
Parento. Those are the 2 Canadians, and they're like kind of, well, Catherine Parento is the best female
Oh, yeah. She's
in
good.
Canada. No questions asked. Like she's number 2 in the world. So love you, Hannah. She's better. And then Steve Deacon is like the unofficial number 1 male in Canada. And they both play in the States already. They're already like regulars down there. Catherine Parento is, again, number 2 in the world. Mm-hmm. Steve Deacon's like a top 30 male in the world.
I think so.
Anyways. So, fucking I didn't know where I was going with the story. Anyways, but Hannah, like for Hannah signing in the States, this is a big fucking deal. So as soon as it gets announced, I like happen to open Instagram like maybe a minute after it gets announced. And I text Hannah. I'm just
Wait,
like,
did she tell you yet?
I was
no,
going
wait,
to.
Yeah,
You didn't
shut
give
up.
me a chance.
Shut up. Whoa. So I guess I looked at this and like my first instinct is like,
Ricky's
oh my-
always on his phone, so you
I
really
know.
can't hide anything from him.
I didn't even know it was on. I see
So-
his text, and then I go to Instagram.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
Oh wow. So instead of responding, you go to Instagram. Thanks.
Well,
Hannah.
I had to see how you.
So
knew.
I was like, I see this and like first like I'm so happy as a friend and as a person. I'm just like, I see it, I'm like, I'm so fucking happy for you, Hannah. Like I'm following this like war that's happening in the pickleball in the States right now. Like it's crazy. And I'm just like, my first instinct is like, I'm so fucking happy for her. So I'm like getting ready to text her. I was like, wait a second. Let me fucking read this again because if this deal's like now, I'm fucked.
For the rest of the season, you're done.
yeah.
Like I'm not done, but like
No.
I'm in a fucking hard spot here.
Yeah.
I'm in a very
No,
tricky
I know,
spot.
I know.
So I messaged her. I'm like, Hannah, like, congrats. Just saw the post. Like, really happy for you. Like, so excited. But like,
But can you play?
But I was like, but Hannah, if you leave me, we are no longer fucking friends. If you leave me this year, Hannah, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. So she texted me like, oh my god, so excited. Yeah, like, I'm like, don't worry, like I already know, like for sure I'll finish off the season. I might even be able to play next year. Like maybe, I don't know, but like for sure I'll be this year. Like I wouldn't leave you. I was like, okay, good, Hannah, we're still friends.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I'm still playing. Don't you worry.
Maybe next year too.
Maybe next year. Hopefully.
Next year too.
Fingers crossed.
Do you have anything or?
Yeah.
I was gonna pivot to this weekend.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So I was gonna say, Hannah, why don't you tell us about this weekend?
This weekend. I mean, like you mentioned, we made history. We went 6-1. No, it was a lot of fun. I mean, just our team is amazing. The people, off court, on court, the whole weekend was. I mean, it was in Edmonton. Edmonton was so-so. The smoke in the sky was just not great. But we made the most of it, and we had so much fun. And our team dinners and just our talks, and then the competition. I mean, I couldn't have asked for anything better. So, I mean, Ricky will probably go into more detail on each individual rally win, like defense, offense, whatever it is.
I just have a question, like a follow-up on that. So, like, obviously, first tournament was great, but this one you guys did so much better.
We did a lot better.
Like, so much better. So,
Yeah.
do you think it's because maybe the team itself didn't know each other as well, played together as much, and now you guys are just more comfortable? Or is it just, like, everyone kind of clicked more? Like, what do you think that changing factor was?
I'll let you answer first, and then I'll go because I know the answer.
Well, I was going to say, so in our first one, I guess we were missing one of our main guys. So we had an alternate.
That's a fucking magic mark there, buddy.
And then, so we had our other guy this weekend. So we won almost all of our mixed, like, doubles games. And then, yeah, I honestly think that was the biggest difference.
So, yeah.
that was another win.
The first tournament, the first split, the Easter split, we went 2-5. And the thing is, everyone's coming together for the first time. A lot of these players haven't played together. Mm-hmm. We were missing Mark, who's like our second round draft pick, who's also one of our, like, again, both our guys are both unbelievable. Like Matt and Mark are both unbelievable. Like Matt might honestly be one of the best players in Canada too.
Oh, absolutely.
And Mark, they're different style players. And Mark's also one of the best players in Canada. They're just different styles. Mark's more powerful, hard hitting, whereas Matt's more of a softer, long.
But he still puts away balls.
But he still puts them away.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Matt's more of a, let's get this rally to like a long, let's go 20, 30, 40 shots. Or Mark's like, this is over in 4 or 5 shots max. Like, I don't want to fucking play. I want to fucking smash the ball. And completely different style players, but they work. The first tournament, Mark wasn't there, so his brother Dan filled in. And you know, Dan's a great player. Just he's not Mark, right? And Dan, we love you too, buddy. You did a great job. Again, it's just we dropped some mixed matches that we probably could have won. So we went 2-5, and the Montreal Lions game we probably could have won. It was our first game. Like,
Maybe we were nervous.
The wheels weren't turning fully yet. So this time, I think we had a couple more practices. Like, our group chat's like pretty lively. Like, we're all friends. We all get to know each other. We got there the day early. We had a little practice. Like, we had a team dinner. George was there. So it's like me, George, the 4 of us.
Well, it makes a difference. Like, the whole thing you guys were talking about before, like community, everyone's so nice in pickleball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once you have your team together, even though you're maybe playing singles or individually, the whole team matters.
Well,
And,
so
like,
there's no
it
singles in
also-
our league. Yeah, there's no singles.
Okay,
in our,
no
it's just
singles.
doubles.
Just
So it's
doubles.
like we're all staying in the same house together. Whereas like in Guelph, we were all individual. So we're
Yeah.
all in the same house. Everyone's like, we're together for 24 hours, basically all day long. Like, you know, me, Hannah, and George went for a run the first day, and then our car got robbed.
I need to hear this story.
Okay.
It was wild.
So we're getting ready to go. So Hannah,
You
George
rented a
go
car.
for a run. We rented 2 cars because we
Okay.
were supposed to be 7 originally. Then it turned into 6. I was like, hey, instead of renting 2, like one big van, let's just get 2 like vehicles because we have 2 vehicles. So we got the rental car. George gets this little Mitsubishi. My rental car's not ready, so they give me a pickup truck. Sick. So we go Friday night. We go practice. Hannah's there. Hannah's friends there. There's 7 of us. We go back. George cooks like a nice, beautiful dinner. We all have this like, great dinner together. Then, so Hannah and her friend go to bed a little bit early. But like 4 or 5 of us are up, like staying up. We're up till like midnight, just watching like old highlights, and like we're making fun of my commentating from the previous
Yeah.
tournament, and we're laughing hysterically. Like just like Hannah texted me at one point, "What's so funny?"
Whoa.
Go to bed.
Wait.
I was missing
wait,
out. I'm
no,
like,
no,
we're
stop,
all
Hannah, stop.
laughing.
Stop. We're downstairs. We're all having a jolly good time. The text is, "What's so funny?" Not, "Hey, what's so funny? I want to join." "Hey, can you guys keep it down?" Or, "Hey, like I want to join. Like, hey, can you send me the clip?"
No,
that you're
she just wanted to know if it was worth it.
Exactly.
She goes,
That's it.
"What's so funny?" I literally am like, guys, shh. Hannah's getting mad. Like, guys, everyone like, Hannah, I'm so sorry. Like, go back to bed. We'll not touch that. Anyways, notch it down. So fast forward, we wake up in the morning. We'll have breakfast. Me, Hannah, George go for this run. We come back. Everyone's showered. We're all like, again, team breakfast. George fucking cooked a storm. Shout out to George. He killed it this weekend. So we're all there. We're having a good time. Time to go. So I was like, hey, you know what, George, you lock up. You take Mark. I'll take Carolina. Matt, and Carolina will leave early. You, Mark, close up, and Hannah's already gone. And we're staying in like an area that's not like sketchy, but it's not like a fucking nice neighborhood. It's not like you feel really nice walking through this neighborhood. It's kind of a little whatever, dicey. So George, when he worked out before one, he's like, yeah, man, it's so weird. Like I heard someone like carrying a shovel down the road, and like I walked outside the front of the house, and I see this guy carrying this like torpedo-looking thing down the road. And we're like, that's so fucking random. So as we leave, me and the first car, we drive off. George calls me. He's like, yo, man, this car's making a crazy amount of noise. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, man, I don't know. Like I think the guy that stole something that was walking down the street with that torpedo, I think that was from the car. I'm like, what the fuck?
You stole something from the car?
Wait. So I was like, don't worry, we're going to turn around. We turn around until we get back. He's like, bro, they stole our catalytic converter. I was like, actually? And like, I
what
know
is that?
It's this part underneath the car that's like, it's because it's so like heavy in metal, it's worth like $1,500, $1,000 to $1,500. And in Toronto, it's a big thing where people go to car dealerships and steal a whole bunch of them at a time and load them onto a truck and boom, they're gone. You get like 10 grand in 2 hours worth of work. So George's like, yeah, they stole our catalytic converter. I'm like, what? And he fires up the car, and I kid you not, it sounds like a Ferrari that's like muzzled almost. It was insane. We're just like, what the fuck? So we all get in the truck, and again, this is all for the plot, and that's the hashtag of the weekend, the hashtag of the weekend, like for the plot, because we went 2-5 first tournament, and then Hannah gets signed to the States, might leave us next year. Then we get this Airbnb, and our car gets robbed, and we're just like, we haven't even played.
So
a
wait,
game
nothing. You had nothing in the car.
No. It's just
It'd be even better if they like took all your pickleball paddles.
No. So we end up like driving that. Like we're like, what the fuck? The best part. So after the tournament, after the first day, I'm like, George, call the insurance company. Call like make the reports. Let's get this car out of here. Like whatever. So George apparently, this is the story goes. George calls the rental car. Like, oh, you got to get a police report. So George calls the non-emergency line. He's like, yeah, like I got to report like a theft. Like our car got robbed apart from our car. They're like, let me guess, the catalytic converter. And George's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, it's been happening a lot in that neighborhood. So yeah, our car got fucking jacked. But again, it's all for the story.
What about our fire alarm?
Oh, and also first day. So I'm in bed. And it's maybe 7 a.m. at this point. And again, when I don't drink, I wake up at 7, 8 a.m. every morning. So Edmonton time, 7, 8 a.m. is like 5, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So it's 7 a.m. I hear this like faint like beeping. I'm like, what the fuck?
In your Airbnb?
Wait, but this beeping has been going on since 3:30 in the morning.
I didn't know this. I just woke up because George woke me
in my
up.
room.
So she had a fire alarm.
So you didn't know?
No, I knew.
She had a fire alarm. So
you didn't say anything?
I was up all night, and so
she
me and
texted me. I
my
didn't know it,
friend,
though.
I was like, do you hear that beeping? So I put a pillow over my head. I'm like, we'll just go back to bed. Because in the middle of the night, 4 a.m., I Google, is a beep every 30 seconds on a fire alarm? Could it be like carbon monoxide?
Imagine you all wake up.
Wait. Hannah's also a hypochondriac. Like, Hannah is like fucking weird like
Okay,
that.
but God forbid you're at an Airbnb, you don't know where you are, and it's carbon monoxide coming out, and you'll all wake up dead.
But don't worry, I watched a YouTube video at 4 a.m. So carbon monoxide is 4 beeps. A fire alarm is 3 beeps, and every 30 seconds, 1 beep is a freaking dead battery.
So this is a dead battery.
So it's a dead battery, but the roof is like, it's
Too
so
high.
so high. So my friend was like, hey, maybe you get on my back, you get onto
this
the
is at 4
closet.
a.m.
4 a.m. She's like, you'll get on my back, we'll hop onto the top of the closet because it's like a lofted thing, and then we'll try and like reset it. And I'm like, no, let's just like put our pillows
and
over
then
our
you
head.
fall and then like injure yourself.
Right, in the middle of the night. So anyways, both of us fall back asleep. 6 a.m. I guess the pillow moved, so I hear it again, and I'm like, oh, whatever. So then I guess Ricky wakes up, and so he goes downstairs, and once you reset one of the fire alarms, it sets them all off for a minute. And so
I heard it, and I'm like,
it was
what
obnoxious.
the fuck? 'Cause it wasn't in my room.
It was in mine.
It's in hers. It's in the hallway, and it's downstairs. So I get up, and I'm like, what the fuck's that noise? And I look over at Mark. I'm like, Mark, you fucking hear that? He's like, I'm like, okay. George is in the bathroom, or George is like outside stretching already, and it's going off. I'm like, hey, if this has been going on for a long time, like George would have heard and done something. But I guess like he just like zoned out, right? And then I finally check my phone, and I see the message from Hannah. I'm like, this thing's been going off since fucking 4 a.m. So I go downstairs. I'm like, hey, let me just press some buttons. I'm sure I can reset this fucking thing.
Bad owner, bad coach. I do not feel safe in this house.
Wait. So I get up on a fucking stool, press the button once, press it twice, nothing happens. I
wake everyone up.
I take out the battery thing. All of a sudden the thing starts going like fucking crazy. Like, I was like,
You think there's like a legitimate fire now.
And literally everybody comes out. Everyone okay down there? Everyone okay down there? I'm like, oh my God. Like, this is the worst thing ever. But yeah, we figured it out.
It was all good.
So yeah, that was like another thing that happened. So then we get to the tournament. So as we're waking up, I see the league that posts like an Instagram story with a bunch of jerseys on chairs.
Did you guys get your new jerseys by the way?
No.
I'm telling the story.
Oh.
So I see 6
I
jerseys.
just guessed it.
I see 6 jerseys on the thing. I literally DM like the like Instagram account who runs the league, and I'm like, please tell me my fucking jerseys are there, or else I'm pissed. The worst part is I set the league up with the jersey provider because like a guy I know from high school messaged me, say, hey, like, so you're launching the league. If you guys need anything on me, no, it's like, hey, here's the owner, here's the league, the commissioner set it up. So I feel bad because it's my intro.
Your intro, yours was wrong at first.
So my first, so I emailed the commissioner. I texted him. I'm like, look, I'm trying not to be mad. I'm going to be calm because like getting mad is not going to do anything now. But if my jerseys aren't ready, just let you know, like, I'm never dealing with these people ever again. Like, I'm going to take matters into my own hand because this is absolutely fucking embarrassing. Like, this is fun. Thank God, like, our sponsors were good. They gave us like merch last time. Like, it wasn't the end of the world, but it's just like, guys, we're the most content related team. We are the most popular team. Like, and I hate to use that word because it's not a popularity contest, but fucking right in Edmonton it was. We're not somewhere where any of our fans are. Like, nobody came to watch us. We had like 10 people in the stands were from us. So all this stuff is gonna be content that people are gonna watch at home or later, and we don't have fucking jerseys. And I'm just like, fucking for the plot, for the Netflix documentary. This is all for the Netflix documentary. And
What about Dave?
Yeah,
Dave.
like, oh my God,
Dave. Don't
You wanna
forget
tell
about
Dave's
him.
story?
You go at it.
So
We're
Matt
gonna really have
Kawamoto.
to turn your volume down too.
Yeah, fuck big time. So Matt Kawamoto was our 3rd round draft pick. Matt Kawamoto, by ranking, is the highest ranked man in Canada.
Okay.
So a lot of people pegged him as a 1st round draft pick. The problem is last year Matt had a concussion. He got a concussion, he was self-concussed from whiplash from dodging a ball. So imagine how fast you have to be to dodge a ball to give yourself a concussion. So it's like so fucking fast. And Matt, if you're watching this, buddy, I fucking love you, Captain Kawamoto, like KK, Captain Kawamoto. He's unbelievable. He's actually unbelievable. So we play 2 games. The 3rd game is the only game we lost, and it's because he was like borderline concussed at the time, or like having concussion-like symptoms. So after the game, we're not going to get into the game because that's another story.
Mm-hmm.
After the game, he decides he's done for the day. So George drives him and his mom back to our Airbnb so he can go in the basement, just relax in a dark room, and just get a good night's sleep. Turns out he didn't fucking sleep. You know that, right?
What? No.
He ended up watching our whole game with the rest
Stop.
of the team. Yeah. So we don't have a reserve because our reserve's in Toronto.
Yeah.
So we have no reserve.
Ricky was gonna play.
One of the other teams.
Good luck.
Wait, one of the
Yeah,
other
I know.
teams. So the league has 2 reserves on standby.
Yeah. I remember.
So one of the teams, both their players couldn't play the Saturday, so both the reserves went to that team. So I go to the commissioner. I'm like, yo, my guy's out. Who are the reserves? Like, they're both taken. I was like, what? I'm like, there's gotta be a 3rd reserve. He's like, yeah, get back to me. I'm like, what? And like at one point I was like, do I actually have to play? We're fucked if I have to play. So he comes out, he's like, yeah, we got Dave Clark here. I'm like, who's Dave Clark? He's like, oh, the guy right there. He's wearing one of our opponent's t-shirts. He's wearing like a Prairie Pronghorn jersey. I'm like, why is he wearing a jersey? Oh, it's Pam's husband. I'm like, what? So one of the players on another team's husband is the reserve. He's like, yeah, but he's good. Like, don't worry. And I'm like, what the fuck? So we're on the phone. It's like, oh, I'm like, Hannah's messaging. Like, we're like, okay, what's it like? What are the qualifications to play in this tournament today? Like, what do you have to do to play?
Walk.
Like, you have to have played out in the tryouts. You have to be in the tryouts.
Technically.
Walk.
He's like, you have to be in the tryouts.
Hold the paddle and move.
No, you have to have played in the tryouts. So I can't technically. I can't
Let
even
Hannah
play.
hit.
Yeah.
So no, because
tell him how I
wait,
wanted to
I'm
play.
gonna finish
Okay,
Dave,
okay.
and I'll let you go.
Okay.
So you had to play in the qualifier. So we're looking at like, hey, who's playing the qualifier that lives in Edmonton? So Hannah's messaging like a guy the guy that she knows that lives in Edmonton that's also really fucking good. So Hannah's like borderline trying to sell her fucking pickleball career for this guy to come in and play.
I'm like, I'll play a tournament with you.
yeah, she comes to me, she's
I'll
like,
practice.
I got it. I only have to sell myself. I was like, Hannah, and I'm standing with Dave. I'm standing with her dad. She comes to me, she's like, oh, I got a guy, but I only have to sell myself, so don't worry. And I'm standing with her dad. I'm like, Hannah, I want you to come back and say that again in different words because I'm literally standing with your father here. Like, come back and be like, hey, I just had to commit to playing 2 tournaments with this guy, and he said he'd play with us. Like, don't just come in. I had to sell myself for this team. Like, what the fuck, Hannah? Anyways, we couldn't get this guy, so we're stuck with Dave Clark.
But we killed it.
Wait, so he's warming up.
What, your dad's name's Dave, right?
My dad's
This is
also
different.
So
Dave.
I thought that this whole
My
time
Dave.
this was going that you're playing with your dad now.
That
I was
would've
like, that would
been
have been a
cool.
plot twist.
So
That
For
would
the
have been
plot.
fun.
we're for the plot. So
the
we're
plot.
there, and Dave's warming up, and Dave's a decent player, but he's nowhere near Matt.
He's not mad.
So we're 2-1 on the day, and we're playing a team that's like borderline right above us in the standings, right? So this game's, it's not super meaningful, but it's not meaningless, right? All games are meaningful, but this one's like a little bit more meaningful. So we get there, like, Dave's in. Fuck it, let's go. Doesn't Dave? So Hannah and Mark end up pairing up together. They've never played together.
Mm-hmm.
They play together. They win. Boom. Great start. Carolina plays with Dave and pulls off an upset against a top team, a top 3 team.
So we love Dave now.
So Dave. So
Love
we're
Dave.
2-0. Once you go 2-0, there's less pressure on the second 2 games because if you win one of them, you win. If you don't lose if you don't win any of them, you go into the tiebreaker, which our team is built for the tiebreaker. So I would have felt mediocre going into the tiebreaker. So then we go into the 3rd game. Women's doubles loses, and then Dave. No.
Did we win? No.
No. We went. So it went mixed. Yeah, women's won.
Oh, we won.
So we went mixed 1. So Hannah and Mark won. Dave and Carolina won. So we're up 2-0. Our 3rd game is Hannah and Carolina, and they win. And we're just like, what the fuck just happened? This 4th game is meaningless because if you win 3, it's basically 4th game is meaningful if there's a tiebreaker, but you already won the match, which is the most important thing. And I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? We just upset a top team with fucking Dave.
It was so
with
cool.
Dave, and
It was awesome.
like the crowd's technically cheering for him because everybody knows like this guy's just wearing a different team jersey all day long and steps into play for another team. And again, his wife's team is like directly above us in the standings too. So like each win is like very important, and we pulled off a fucking huge upset to win.
Well, congrats.
It was wild.
And imagine if Matt was
was.
there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, if Matt was there, it was 4-0.
we could've
Yeah,
sweeped.
easy.
That would have been a first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But let's tell a story about how this is, and we've nicknamed Hannah
We.
Blatt the Brat. Me and George.
You nicknamed
Blatt
me.
the Brat. Or Bratty Blatt. We haven't decided what it's going to be yet. It depends what sounds more natural over time. So we get there. Matt's out. And Hannah comes out and he's like, is concussion?
Wait, so is Matt okay?
Matt's
is
okay.
okay.
And he played Sunday too.
Okay.
It's the fatigue. So we talked to the athletic therapist. We talked to his parents. We talked to everyone. The big thing with him is he slept at the airport the night before because he came in Thursday night late. So he slept at the airport until the rest of us got there.
At like
Plus
2
the
p.m.
smoke.
the next day.
Plus the smoke in the air. Plus it was a long day. We had the 2 tiebreakers.
Wait, was the smoke bad still?
Really bad.
was awful.
Really bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Plus, again, we went to bed late. You're waking up kind of early because your internal clock. Just a whole bunch of different factors. Increases fatigue. So he's okay now. Matt, we love you. You fucking killed it. So as soon as we find out the Matt situation, Hannah comes over and she's like, hey, his concussion's like a year old. Can he just play? He didn't look that bad. He won so many points. He played really good. Can he just play? And she's looking at him. I'm like, Hannah, it's a fucking concussion. It's his brain. What do you want me to do? She's like, he looks fine. He said he wants to play. Can he just play? I don't get it. It's a year ago. We should be able to play together. And I'm like, Hannah, relax. It's just be like a little fucking child. Hannah, I love you. You acted like a child.
I was being immature.
So then we fast forward. So we're talking to the commissioner. We're like, what are the rules? Tell us the rules that we need. And this is before we get to the commissioner. Hannah's like, can I play men's doubles? And I'm like,
whoa. But it's also because when we play our singles, I'm like, put me against a guy. I want to play
Hannah
the guy.
likes playing the men, right?
Yeah.
And in the States, in a lot of tournaments, it's women's and then the other division's not men's. It's open.
So I
women
could play
do play with
men's
men
5-0.
sometime, right?
Yeah.
So Hannah comes in, can I play men's? I was like, I don't think so, but let me ask. Let me come. She's like, no, I can definitely. In the States, they do it. They definitely do it in the States. Why wouldn't they? It's
I was like, let me
2023.
play men's
why
doubles
can't I play
and
men's
mixed
doubles?
doubles
I should be able to
and
do
do it
this.
all.
Why not? And I'm like, you know what? Hannah, you're not wrong. Probably not, but let me ask. So I go out, I find one guy who works for the league or one of the owners of the league, and he's like, I'm gonna talk to the commissioner. I'm like, okay. So I call the commissioner, and the commissioner's like, Ricky, no, it's not happening. I was like, look, kind of it's she could play with men. What's the big deal? He goes, Ricky, it's a men's division. And if she would have registered as a man, then she could play men's. No, but she can't play women's. If she would have, she registered as a woman. She didn't register as open. She registered as a man. She registered as a woman. So I'm like, okay, that's fair. So I get back to Hannah. It's not happening. Why? Why isn't it happening? Why can't I play with men? Why? What's the big deal? What? I'm like,
She
really
just
wanted
wants
to.
answers.
Exactly.
So it was fucking hilarious. And then the Blatt the Brat
okay.
started.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of from
that. That's
moment.
how it started. Because I wanted
Kind
to
of.
play men's doubles.
And you just look bratty.
Okay.
It
Thank
just
you.
works.
I'll take
Blatt
it.
the Brat.
What are you?
Yeah. What are you? What
Awful,
was your
scary,
nickname?
human, petty.
I don't know.
That's a good one.
At one point someone came up to me. So I was talking to the athletic therapist from Matt Kamoda. They're like, So sorry, are you related? I was like, no, not really. He's like, are you like one of the players? I'm like, no. He's like, so what are you? I was like, I don't know. He's like, well, I can't disclose information. I'm like, well, I kind of own the team. I'm kind of the coach. I'm kind of the GM. Kind of like the manager.
Whatever I want to be
Yeah.
in the moment.
No,
That's
I was
who
just
I
like,
am.
fan.
I'm like, it's my team. I own this thing. He's like, okay, so you have the right to know this information. I'm like, yeah, I definitely have the fucking right to know this information. Like, tell me now, can this guy fucking play? Yes or no? He's like, well, yeah, his visuals are a little bit slowed down. That's why his brain's overworking. But overall, he looks really good. The concussion's a year ago. Blah blah blah. I was like, okay, good, we're good. But
Oh boy.
fucking wild weekend. Just like that's not even like half of it. Like Saturday night, we get back, and Saturday's a long day. It was like a good 10-hour day. Hannah goes straight to bed, fucking like as per usual.
As she should.
Exactly.
No,
I
the
mean,
rest of
I
us-
get up at
the rest
6
of us
a.m.
are all
to
down to
run,
like,
and then play pickleball
Was
all
I not
day.
up running with you?
You get up at like 7.
Yeah, but normal people like their sleep.
Yeah.
She goes to bed. She wakes up early though, so she doesn't like her sleep that much. Anyway, so we get down there the second day, and we killed it. Go 3-0. Like vibes are high. We go home. We shower. We go to. Actually, I'll let you tell this part. We go to Earl's. And then,
Oh, we go
I
to
didn't really
Earl's.
talk about my birthday because again.
Well,
it's-
he goes,
my
I don't want to
birthday's on
celebrate my
Wednesday.
birthday.
I'm like, I'm just busy this weekend. Danny knows I'm not really doing
But
anything.
I
for my
love birthdays.
So
So I'm
do
like,
I.
exactly. So I'm like, okay, let's get him a card. I'm like, okay, everyone on the team, let's sign it. But there's these two just goofy names that I'm like, you know what? I can't find the people to sign the card themselves, so I'm just gonna write their names in.
Don't say that part of the story yet.
No, I'm
we'll
not,
tell
I'm
Danny
not.
off.
So anywho, we give him this card, but we show up to the restaurant. We gotta wait, and so I like ask the server. I'm like, secretly, I'm like, hey, can you please bring him like a muff dive? It's his birthday. And so we all order our food. We're waiting. We order drinks, and this massive glass of whipping cream shows
Like
up.
Danny, I'm not kidding. Like from the glass to the top of the whipped cream is like 4 inches.
But like it was
Like
hysterical.
honestly, Danny, it's like it's literally.
Yeah.
I'm not even exaggerating. I looked at him like, is there even a shot in there? Like you can't see it.
But
It's-
what's funny too is at lunch you go, I don't like whipping cream.
Yeah,
So
I
there's a
fucking hate it.
massive thing of whipping
we're at
cream.
Moxie's. We're at Moxie's. So me and Hannah usually split meals when we're together. So I'm like, Hannah, would you have half the white chocolate brownie? She's like, yeah. So the brownie comes. I'm like, oh, I don't like whipped cream. You have the whipped cream. And then we split it. And I gave her all the whipped
But
cream.
I didn't eat I don't like whipping
No.
cream.
So this fucking muff dive show. Danny, I kid you not.
It was huge.
It's like that's this is the
Okay,
glass. It's
I-
4 inches over, and I'm just like, what? I'm like, is there even a shot?
Did you
I
do
poked my-
it?
Oh yeah.
It
You
took
got-
me like a minute to do it.
You
'cause I
gotta
was
see
like-
it. He
I'll show you
could
the video.
not.
Maybe this will be the clip where it's just like you see me. I look. So this is the muff dive, and I look at him. Like,
Wait, so he goes in the first time. He's like, no.
I can't get
find
it. I can't fucking
find
get it.
Then he goes in again. He pulls up the shot. He has so much whipping cream in his mouth that he has to take the shot out and spit all the whipping cream out. It was actually hysterical. Anyways, that was our Earl's night, and then a nice
it's actually
little.
really really funny.
Yeah. It
Then,
was
yeah,
fun.
and then we came back and we're all like hanging out watching TV, and so one of the players, Mark's like, he's just a pickleball like nerd too. He loves the sport. So he gets back. We're watching highlights of pickleball, and we're all there. It's me, Carolina, Mark. Matt had already gone to the airport. George is on bed because he's gonna leave
And
at 5.
I went to bed, right?
And then Hannah's
Yeah.
in bed. Like we lose Hannah. I'm looking around, guys. Where the fuck's Hannah? He's like, oh, she probably went to bed. I'm like, she didn't fucking say goodnight, nothing. So I go to bed. I text Hannah. I'm like, yo, way to say goodnight, you fuck. I didn't call you any names. But I was like, rude. I'm like, wake me up when you go for runs. We went for a run in the morning, but
I've been running a mile every day for the last week, so I'm hoping to do it for like 30 days straight.
Oh
So,
wow, good for you.
yeah. I mean, a mile's enough to like make an excuse and like not do it, but I'm trying to hold myself accountable and be like, it's 1 mile, just run
Yeah.
the damn mile. So, anyways,
make it 2.
he ran. I'm trying to preserve my knees,
okay, that's fair.
so he ran with me 2 of the days. So, thank you.
2 of the days.
3? Was it 3?
What did you run alone at all ever?
No, wasn't it 2
Oh,
mornings? 3
so who
mornings.
did you run with?
You,
Saturday,
Oh,
Sunday, Monday.
George.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah.
That's
First
fair.
day was me. Saturday,
That's
Friday.
fair.
Sorry,
We ran
Saturday was
over a
me,
mile
you-
too. He was
yeah.
like, I'm not going to do 1 mile. 1 mile's not enough. I'm like, oh my God. I have to play pickleball all day, but okay.
To be honest, watching you guys play pickleball is almost as hard as you guys playing it.
Oh, shut up!
Danny,
That
Danny.
is dramatic.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Agreed.
But honestly, if you see these matches, shut up. You're also like,
yeah, my hands are clammy
shut
and sweaty.
up, Hannah. You sit there beside me like, this is more nerve wracking than playing. I'd rather watch them. I'd rather play than watch this because this is too
like
nerve wracking.
nerve wracking, but
It
it's not
is.
as hard as playing.
Not as
but
hard,
I
yeah.
had to do
going
that
in.
and I had to play. Exactly.
Okay, we'll be up games by like 6 or 7. It'll be like 12-6, and we'll win 15-14 this weekend. I kid you not.
It's pickleball.
I'm like,
That's
guys,
what
why do you have to
happens.
do that?
Anything can happen.
Exactly. It's sports.
It was wild though. Okay, Hannah. So back to the weekend. What was your favorite part of the weekend? Like one moment.
It was honestly probably watching you try and find the shot in that muff time. I will say.
We'll show you the video.
So it had nothing to do with pickleball.
No, it was so funny. But if it had to be pickleball related, I would say it was some of the tiebreakers, our singles, because I just love. It's like we have to put in our lineup. So typically people go guy, guy, girl, girl. But I'm always like, hey, let's go guy, Hannah, guy, girl. So then I get to play one of the guys, and I love it just because it throws them off, I think.
Yeah, and in our first tournament, so we were like 0-4 in the first tournament.
Yeah.
We were 0-3 because we won our last game on the Saturday. So we're 0-3.
Yeah.
And Hannah's more of a singles player, right? And I know that too. And we get to our first tiebreaker. It's 2-2. We get to the tiebreaker. They set their lineup first because we were the home team, so we get to match it. So Matt, the first time was no question asked, our best player. So Matt's going first. Done. And Hannah looks at me, she's like, I want, and she's been saying all day, she's like, I want to play singles. I want to play singles. I want to play singles. We're like, so I look at her, I'm like, Hannah, you want to go second? Like, if you want to do this, like, Hannah, you're my girl. I'll fucking put you second. She's like, yeah, I want to do it. I want to do it. Fucking yeah, let's go. And she's
Put
getting all
me in,
amped up.
coach.
Put me in, coach. She's all amped up. Like, you're gonna play the dude. So I'm like, hey, you know what? If we're gonna do a strategy, let's go guy, girl, girl, guy. Yeah. So then our second girl will play their first girl. Our second guy will play their second girl. So it works out. So our first guy, Matt, is up. He ended up winning 3 straight, but as Matt's playing, me and Hannah are sitting side by side. She's like, I don't know. I gotta pee. Okay, you think I have enough time to pee?
I was so nervous.
Literally,
So excited.
The overtime is starting. And she's like, you think I have enough time to pee? I gotta pee. Ricky, it might dribble. I'm like, Hannah, if you fucking don't win this, Hannah, you asked for this. You're the reason I put you second. Hannah, and it's a ballsy move because everybody goes guy, girl. It's like,
let's mix
well
it up.
known. It is well known that
Exactly.
and I got no problem. I'm down to change it up. I'm down to try new things. I'm down. I'm a ride or die. Everybody knows that. My friends want to do something. Let's fucking do it. Let's go. But don't fucking second guess yourself afterward. It's like we're going off this cliff. Don't be like, oh, this might not have been a good idea. The parachutes weren't packed properly. Like, no, be like, yo, we're going off this cliff. The parachutes are gonna be right. This is gonna be a wild ride. Let's do this. We ended up winning that game.
I won all 3 of those points.
The first one. The second one, you won 2 out of 3. I think. Anyway,
but I won all for.
Yeah, the first 3 you won all 3.
Exactly.
We were up 6
exactly.
So this time I look at her in our first tiebreaker. I'm like, Hannah, you want to do this? She's like, she stops. I'm like, Hannah, we do this? She's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And we had Mark there too. So like, Hannah wasn't to go in that sex spot. It wasn't a necessity. It was more like, Hannah,
But like,
if you
none of
want
the
this,
guys beat me.
You're
3-0.
my girl. Yeah, Hannah, if you want to do this, you're my girl. Let's do this. But we had Mark there, and Mark's like an unbelievable player too. Like Mark's got fucking power like you wouldn't believe. So, and he's a big boy too. He's like scary looking on the court. So I was like, we have Mark, and she's like, no, I want this. Fucking right, Hannah. Let's do this.
It's the energy you need.
And we ended up pulling off the W.
Yeah, we did. It was worth it.
So yeah, I agree with you on that.
Good.
What was your favorite part, Rick?
Yeah.
This sounds really stupid, but like, yeah, I'm all the dinners and like just the stupid giggles in the car. Like, you know, this morning, I'll give you another example. So no, this morning or
What about our lap around
Sunday-
the house
Sunday
to find
morning.
the passports?
So Sunday morning, we're getting ready to leave. So Hannah walks out first out the front door. And we only got 1 truck at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Monday morning. Sorry. No, Sunday
night.
Yeah. Sunday night, we're going to dinner.
Yeah.
So Hannah walks out the guy, and 3 doors down, there's a guy sitting on the steps at a house. And him and a girl walk out towards the house, like walk towards the car. They're just kind of standing on the corner
They
of the
just
block.
look sketchy. So Hannah
Hannah looks at me, she's like,
Yeah.
kind of sketchy. Like, should we grab our passports? I was like, what? Like, Hannah, we'll lock him in the house. That's fine. She's like, so
Just
we get in the car.
grab it just
Wait, we
in
get in the
case.
car. We get in the car. There's 6 of us in this car. Hannah looks, I don't know. They look, and they were still standing on the corner,
They
like
just
2 or
look
3 minutes later.
sketchy.
I agree. I
She's
understand
like,
that feeling.
I don't know. Like,
So anyways, I run back inside. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get my passport. I'm going to just hide my laptop. I put it under the mattress, under the covers. Why would anybody look there? You know? So anyways, I get back in the car. The people are still like sitting out there. And I think I've like kind of now everyone else is a bit getting like weary and whatever. So we're like, we'll do a lap. We'll do
because
a
you
lap.
weirded everyone out.
I did, but I was just being cautious. Just in case. You never know. I mean, our car got robbed. Why wouldn't the house? Okay?
It's very possible.
Exactly. So anyways, we're like, we'll just do a lap. So we're all 6 of us are jammed in this truck. We do a lap around the block. Yeah, the people aren't there, but then 3 of our people in the car are like, we're going to go get our passports too.
What if they're in the house?
It's just like
know.
those moments, like we giggled and we laughed and we
It
had
was
so much
funny.
fun. And I've said this from the beginning, and I've told this to like all of our sponsors and everybody I spoke to. winning on the court is obviously important. I want to win. It'd be amazing to be the first ever champions of this league. And especially because out of all the owners, I'm the least pickleball guy out of everyone. I've been playing the least. I'm the worst player. I knew nothing about pickleball coming into this. So winning would
Your heart's in it.
Yeah, winning would be such a cool fucking thing. But since day one, I've said winning on the court is important. But winning off the court is equally as important to me. And there is no question in my mind that we've won off the court, even without the finals. Even if we didn't win a single match all weekend, there's no questions in my mind that we won off the court. And just goes to show that when you have a good atmosphere and a good environment and a good community, the results will come. The results will follow. We went fucking 6-1 this weekend. People were talking about us at the beginning of the week, like, oh, you know, those are those wins that we're going to get, the bottom 3 teams, because there's a big gap between the top 3 and the bottom 3. Everyone's like, oh, those 3 are easy wins.
Well, I'm just going to bring this back full circle about how you even said how, like, you, like, lost, like, your love for squash. This is kind of like the little things that help, and, like, you were playing alone before, but this is the things that help keep pushing you with the sport. If you have a good community around you, a good team around you, the support around you, everyone's happy, it adds to the actual sport you're playing.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And, like, it's so different from squash too. Like, just everyone's, I don't know. Everybody wants everybody to succeed, and it's not every man for himself. We all support each other on this team. Even, like, playing some of the pro tournaments in the U.S., the people that watch me and support me and want me to be my best and do my best, I don't know. It's just really nice. So
it is. Even so, me and Hannah obviously we've become close friends now. I hate saying that, but
you can add it to my little
we added
list
to
of
your
friends.
like 5 friends that you have.
I've already heard like 13 during this episode, so like I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly, he thinks I only have 5 friends.
She's over exaggerating. Well, it started because like last time we were talking, and she's
so
like,
you found someone more dramatic than me, right? Basically, after this whole weekend,
potentially.
A brat, more dramatic, hypochondriac, like
exactly.
This is just like everything.
This is why I love you so much today. I was like, oh, Danny, come get us. No problem.
I think we needed this good break apart.
This was a good break for me and you. No, but even like with Hannah, like we've become good friends, and it's just the little things with the community. Like we talk almost every day now. Me and Mark talk almost every day. Matt lives in Ottawa, but we still talk. And like even like the little one-on-ones me and Hannah, like me and Matt, he messaged me after, like we were talking after. He's like, hey, like he pulled me aside. He's like, thank you for like looking out for like my health and this and that. Like, you know, we had after the first day with his concussion, we like the team, we all spoke. We said, okay, maybe we don't let him play, even if he wants to, because you know concussions are.
But it's also like you want to be smart for him, for himself. But then also you also do have a tournament coming up in 2 weeks.
That's why. So it was a little bit of both. So we came up with like a 3-step approach. We said, okay, the first step is Matt. If Matt says he's okay to play, great. Let's check one. The second was, let's go see, maybe not a doctor, but someone who knows about concussions. So the athletic therapist. The third was his family. His family was all there. So his mom to me is like, Linda, if you listen to this, Linda, we fucking love you, Linda. You're great. Linda and Tom, the parents, are like, I want to get the go ahead from them, because I don't want other owners being like, oh, Ricky cares so much about winning, he doesn't care about his health. It's like, man, there's way more to life than this pickleball thing. Like me and Hannah, me and you never really talk pickleball. No, we always talk like social media or like Hannah will send me random pictures. I'm like, Hannah, I love you, but like we put some fucking context on this picture. Like what?
It'll be like a random goat in a field.
Yeah,
like,
it'll be like a random like.
What I find
like
funny,
a very Pinterest. She'll send me like a Pinterest
funny.
picture. Like a fucking cool looking bar, and I'm like, Hannah,
cool
I love
tattoo.
You. But what are we talking about here? She's like, oh, I thought this was really cool. I thought you'd like it. I was like, no preface. No, hey, this is a cool looking tattoo. Take a look at it. No, hey, I'm thinking about getting this tattoo.
It's up to your own interpretation.
Agreed.
My own interpretation is this girl's fucking wild. Like, what are we talking about here? Anyways, that's like I care about these people more than just pickleball players. Like they're all friends now, and I love each and every one of them so much. Like, so I wouldn't want people thinking, oh, we just care about winning, because at the end of the day, winning on the court is important, but winning off the court is more important. Like we're doing this event at Sherway Gardens. So for anybody listening, September 23, 24, we're going to be playing pickleball in the pit at Sherway Gardens, setting up like a big pickleball event. Hannah might even show up. Who knows?
Yeah, I'll be there.
You never know.
I'll be there.
Hannah's probably not going to be there. But anyways, we'll deal with Hannah later.
Woohoo, Cadillac Fairview.
Yeah, Cadillac Fairview, shout out. Yeah. So all these little things about like winning off the court, winning on the court. And I think even if we don't win the finals, which is happening in Mississauga, September 30th and October 1st, even if we don't win, which I'm very confident we're going to make it to the finals and we're probably going to win. Even if we don't, I'm going to say year one has been a massive success.
Agreed.
Like just start to finish from the drafting. And, you know, I've told Hannah the story this weekend. when I drafted Hannah at 4, people were just like, who? What? Because, yeah, there's no pre-draft ranking. Like, we got rankings,
Yeah.
but people don't know who Hannah is because she's never played in a tournament in
Now
Canada.
she does. Now people know who Hannah is.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
and guess what? Now she's heading to the States.
Wait, well, she might stay in Canada, too. We don't know yet.
Ah.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see. But, yeah, I drafted people like, who? What? And then when I picked Mark in the second round, I was like, what? That's an early pick for Mark. And I'm like, well, fucking right. You guys missed out on him. He's a stud. I got mad in the third, and people are like, okay, well, like, fuck, he said, you know, he's got a concussion. He might not even play, blah, 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 blah. It's like, and there was,
You made the right move.
I told a story to Georgia. There's like a random like Canadian Pickleball podcast, like some random little like Joe Schmo podcast. So if the guys listen, your podcast is Joe Schmo.
So is ours.
Yeah, ours is way better than his. So he said, he's like, yeah,
We
you know,
support everyone.
yeah, we support everyone. Fair enough. Pickleball,
Well
whatever. Yeah. So he even says, like, yeah, you know, Toronto's got one of the weaker teams, something like that.
You really showed them.
We did.
We fucking did.
We did.
I have a question before we wrap this up. What do you guys know why it's called pickleball?
Oh, I've actually heard this somewhere, but I completely forget.
Like, do
It's a
you
good
think it
question.
should be like that was the one thing I think you should change about the sport?
Pickleball.
Oh, we
The
never asked
name?
you. Sorry, Danny. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna bring that up for no, but we were talking about this today. Like, it makes it seem like it's like a joke sport.
Oh no,
the
absolutely.
public.
If I say I play pickleball, I have to like kind of process
Well,
that for a
wait,
second.
have you guys seen the meme? Sorry, the video
It's,
meme where it's like the guy be like, "Oh, you want to play pickles?" Yeah, I'm ready. And the guy opens up a jars of pickle, dumps it on his head. He grabs two pickles.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready to play pickleball.
Well, no, like there's
Have you
just so
seen
many
that?
funny memes
No,
and like things
there
going on.
is.
It sounds like a joke. Like we were joking, we were comparing it.
Cornhole doesn't sound like a joke.
It's not an Olympic sport.
Cornhole's not an Olympic sport, but it's televised.
Cornhole's
Cornhole's televised.
Pickleball
I've
televised. Is it
I've
not?
watched the Canadian National Pickleball. Cornhole tournament or some sort of like professional cornhole event.
but we were saying,
on
like-
TSN in Canada.
Okay, I
on
was saying, like-
fucking TSN.
No, but I was just saying, like, okay,
gotta turn my mic down
spike
for
ball
sure.
came in within the past, like, what, 5-10 years? Similar
Yeah.
to pickleball came into the sport. Spike ball, even though it might not be as good of a sport
Correct.
as pickleball, not even close, it sounds cooler than pickleball.
It sounds cool, but pickleball sounds more like squash.
When I played squash, the amount of times I had to explain what squash was, and then people would make fun of
Really?
squash.
I feel like squash is
Yeah.
an old sport. Like,
yeah, I know, but
It's
like
an old, like,
so many
white man
people-
rich
exactly.
sport.
yeah, but I just feel like
And
that's
then on
like an
this
old,
little
like, pickleball.
ball
You
It's
can
like
think
you wear
of
white
anything else.
with
I know.
with squash. You wear white. You have white hair and you wear glasses, and that's squash.
and you belong
Correct.
to the
I
country
think
club.
depending on who you are,
Rich.
all sports could kind of be a bit of a joke. But then when you get into a little more, people
What about
give you a
pool?
little more respect. Yeah.
Pool. Let's go shoot some
guess.
pool. Snickers.
It's
Let's go
actually,
play
called, it's
Snickers.
actually called billiards.
Okay, let's go shoot some Snickers.
Snickers.
Is a game of pool.
Billiards.
Snickers is as well.
Are we naming chocolate bars?
Watch.
Kit Kat?
Oh, I can't wait to prove you guys wrong.
It's
right
probably. No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that that's probably like a nickname.
Coffee
Yeah.
Crisp?
now. Yeah, exactly. Like.
Oh, let's go play some Mars.
Ready?
Reese's Cups.
Snooker.
So you're wrong.
Snooker. Even worse. Like
You didn't
Snooki,
prove us
Jersey,
right.
Jersey Shore, snooker. Okay. Snooker is a cue sport played on a rectangle billiards table covered
So it's
with.
played on a billiards table.
So yeah, it's played on a billiards table, but it's
So
still.
it's a type of game.
no, it's its own sport. It's a cue sport.
Well, I'm
You know,
glad
that's
I
what I'm saying,
played
it's its own
pickleball.
sport.
Yeah. snooker.
Anyways, my whole thing was to say, would you change the name?
Nah, fuck it. I love it. Pickleball for life.
Yeah, I'd keep it. I mean, they've
Yes,
got.
Hannah. Yes.
It's just so goofy as
It
is.
is. It's funny. I think it adds
just,
to it.
It just completes the whole pickleball thing.
Experience.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hannah, this is your first podcast that's audio and visual and in person. How'd you feel?
Pretty good. So it's a little warm in here. A little.
I'm really
sweat
hot right
mustache,
now.
But
Time out. You're wearing a sweater, so shut up. Hannah can complain
I
a
have
little bit.
no
So
excuse. I sweat
hot right
so
now.
Hannah's
much.
got like fucking sweaty pits right now or something.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Hannah, before we
Just-
wrap up,
yeah.
sorry to cut you off there.
No, you're good.
Okay. What's the future look like for you? Even though I kind of already know, but tell the people listening.
You already know? Because I don't. I
know
am
what your
very
future looks like.
intrigued to see how everything's going to play out.
I'm very confident because it's like as much as I like to think I'm one of the cool in the know owners of pickleball sports, there is someone that will draft you next year just based off how much you're playing, how much you're like excelling, how quickly you've climbed the rankings, and like you're playing on the Pro Tour, APP, PPA, you just signed MLP. Someone will draft you for the fact that you're, one, a great player, two, you're a good person, two,
Good
three,
team
you have,
spirit.
yeah, you have the social
go,
media
boys.
presence. Like, you look good on you look good on the court. So I'm
What's
fairly
the other
confident you're going to get Hannah has like 3 sayings that she says during a game.
Well-
One is, come on, guys. Come on, guys.
Let's go, boys.
Let's go, boys.
Here we go,
Let's
right
boys.
now.
And here we go. Come on, guys. Here we go.
But
Let's
it
go, boys.
works. And people can hear me.
Yeah, well, I don't know much about that.
I think so.
Yeah, Hannah, I do think you have a very bright future ahead of you, and I'm. If you haven't noticed already, listening, I'm one of Hannah's biggest fans.
I like messaged Ricky this weekend when like they were posting, and I was like, you and George right now, and I just like, I know how much like how into it you were too, but like you guys are just like proud dads right now.
Absolutely.
And like there's like Ricky's smile, like I haven't seen you have a bigger smile than a year ago at Ushuaia.
I said
Your
this,
smile matched that smile from that day, like literally a year ago.
This weekend, so Guelph was one of the most fun weekends I've had that didn't involve any alcohol. This weekend in Edmonton was hands down the most fun I've ever had that didn't involve alcohol, and it's probably like top 10 weekends of my life.
Like I think
I love
like
that.
yeah,
Honestly,
I love
full
that.
circle. Your smile
Just,
on
like,
your face was massive.
One proud dad moment. Just like, again, I drafted a team that went 6-1. Like, sorry, not me, George, Frank, and Ollie. We drafted a team that went 6-1 this weekend, which is fucking wild. And then two, just like as friends, as like your guys' friends, like watching you guys win makes me so happy. Not even as like a proud dad moment, just like I love you guys as people, as humans, as players. And then watching you succeed and something that you guys are obviously passionate about. You try so hard and like your effort didn't go unnoticed. You guys, it went noticed. The whole fucking league is talking about it. In one of the live streams, Steve Deacon, like the Pickleball Canada guy, he's like, yeah, I don't like that Toronto United team is like a dangerous team. Like, I don't know what he said. Maybe I'm exaggerating this one, but he's like, that team, we don't want to play them in the finals. Maybe I'm exaggerating.
Because we're gonna win it all, right?
But everybody knows we're that team that you don't want to mess with right now. Yeah, we're that team you don't want to
You
mess
know what?
with.
I'm excited. I'm going to come to the finals.
Yes.
I'm really excited to come watch and actually see this in person.
Yeah, it will be exciting. Hannah, before we wrap up, if people want to know about...
If people want to learn about you, know more about you, where should they go? Where can they find you?
Yeah. So you can follow me on Instagram. It's just Hannah Blatt, HANNAHBLATT, or TikTok, which I've started on thanks to Ricky, which is Hannah Blatt 1.
Coach on and off the court.
She had a business
Exactly.
account. She's like, why can't I use this sound? I'm
I
like,
had no idea.
you're a business account. Why are you
I mean, I've been all Instagram, so
see, what other owner would have corrected that for you?
no one. So thank you.
I might not be able to correct you on the
Thank
court,
you.
but off the court, I can help you out.
Appreciate it. That's what friends are for, right?
That's what friends are for. If you made it to the end, we love you. We appreciate you. Share this with your friends. Give Hannah a follow. Danny, what's your Insta since we never mentioned it?
That's okay. You'll find me.
At Danny Galarno.
Galarno.
No, Galarno.
Okay.
At Galarno. And then follow me, your pal Rick. And share this with your friends. And other than that, we'll see you next week. Sign off, pals. Cheers.
You like to drink and to smoke to take away the pain. And I don't remember all of my mistakes and every high. Got alone with no one